newest maps we have in the pool, especially considering it's Inferno pools, is kind of a surprise. I'm pretty sure Mr. Lando hates that map. So I'll have to see how he fares on that. But we are into our first game, and spawning in the top right, our pink Terran player from All Inspiration. It is the Australian man himself. It is Mr. Lando.
And once again, we have spawning in a Zerg. It is for All Inspiration Jacobus, the red player in the bottom left of Overgrowth. See if he knows a different Zerg build.
Well, he's getting the all-in curse of random, but you always hit Zerg if you play random for All Inspiration. It's just how it happens.
We are a Zerg team. We don't have Terran players. Lando is a Terran player, but he's beaten me in ZVZ. So
yeah, he plays ZVZ, or he plays Zerg a decent amount. So it's no surprise to see he does play that very well from time to time. And ZVZ is a fairly volatile matchup. We do have a sneaky SCV already moving out. I'm not sure if this is just going to be this guy because he is playing a random player, if he actually wants to do this versus a random player, if he wants to proxy Rex against the random. But Jacobus, he's got the Overload already moving out. He's got a drone moving out to scout as well. So if this is going to be proxy Rex, no, maybe not going to be that. Looks like Mr. Lando just wants to figure out what's going on, what he's playing against. He does pass the Overload and the drone both, so he does know he's playing Zerg now. So we're not going to have the exciting game necessarily just yet. Looking like just going to be a 12 racks, 12 gas here from Lando going into a Reaper, I imagine, to go up against whatever Jacobus does decide to do here. Is he going to just Engineering Bay block, perhaps?
well, I think he will. He can't afford it, but
I can't really
he
afford
might
it.
wait for it. You going? Oh, he's going to, isn't he? You
Nope.
can't. You got 5 health, mate. Go home.
Yeah, gotta get out of there now. He took wasted a little bit too much time. And actually, the drone on the other side of the map is being pretty annoying. I guess Lando really doesn't want him to scout because he's using 2 SCVs here. Combined with the third SCV that's on the map, that's a pretty hefty amount of mining time that isn't being put into actual minerals right now. So there has to have been a reason for Lando to have done that. I'm not really sure why he necessarily did that. Maybe Jacobus hasn't actually seen his gas yet, so he doesn't know that that's there. So that's nice, I guess, but I think that's a lot of early income that he sacrificed just to deny an early drone scout that's going to be taken care of by this Overload here momentarily.
Yeah, wow, the citizen duress was real in the early game there. Like, everyone's air workers were just all over the place killing each other, and finally everyone's going back to mining. We do see that Jacobus has opted for the gasless opener. So he's being hella greedy here, going up to 19 drones. Normally you want to save this lava to defend the Reaper that pops out. And actually there will be a second Reaper for Mr. Lando as well. So see how good his Zergling micro is against Reapers, because 6 is normally the default. 4 if you're confident it's 1 Reaper.
Yeah, it can be hairy if depending on how many Reapers Lando does decide to go up to. I mean, he hasn't really had to go make a factory just yet. His Reaper is over on the other side of the map. There are a couple of lings out here to meet it. Say hello. That he get a couple of bites in on that Reaper. Take a little bit of health off of it. Reaper does get in. He sees enough. I think he saw that there weren't any drones mining gas, so it's all the information he wanted to get at this moment. He does have the second Reaper out, and it's on its way. But it is going to be into a factory with a reactor being created for that barracks. We do have a second gas coming down for Lando. Lando does play mech pretty often, so wouldn't be surprising to see him go for some sort of early Banshee play to start that off with into mech. If he wanted to go that route, if he just wants to get up even a really quick second factory, maybe go for Blue Flame, double Hellbat production to be something ridiculous and totally possible, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be mech, but it's definitely going to be heavy tech into some mid-game choice. So we will be seeing Starport come down immediately, the Tech Lab come down immediately as well, and Jacobus does have his Overlord in position to scout, and he will see that the barracks is shifted over to land, and he could move it in a little bit more, see the Tech Lab and the Starport, but I think he's more fussed about these 2 Reapers that are being an absolute nuisance.
We do have 2 gases here for Jacobus. He's got enough queens to push away the Reapers. He's got queens at each base and 2 queens out front to help push those away. It's going to be a matter of time before Jacobus is able to actually go ahead and take his third base. Take a little bit of effort to do so, and the queens are here trying to push away the Reapers, but eventually some Hellhounds are going to be joining this as well. So long as Lando is able to keep these Reapers alive adding in the Hellions is a little bit of a boost there. It's going to force these queens to stop spreading creep for a little bit of time, and actually maybe have to use some transfuse energy. Depending on how many Hellions that Lando does go up to, and we do have the cloak on the way. Banshee is in production as well. This factory is already moved off. It's going to be turning and making another tech lab on that factory, so curious to see what he's going to do with that. Jacobus gonna, or not Jacobus, Lando gonna pick up a couple tumors, which is always nice in an early game. There's actually a spore crawler already kind of not blindly made. I imagine Jacobus saw that. Yeah, he did see that, so he does know that it's going to be a possible situation. So he is preparing for that already.
But that's 4 spore crawlers between 2 bases. He is not taking any chances, and arguably they're also made a little bit early. You can delay those until 8 minutes if you see a Banshee's coming. See, these spore crawlers are all finished, and where's the Banshee, Obama? It's just popped out the starport now, so you could throw it down now, and it'll be finishing up just in time, but I guess that's the blessing and curse of playing a random player. The specifics aren't down yet, but that's 6 queens on 2 bases, so I'm pretty sure that Jacobus is going to be just fine, and actually he's gone super old school, gasless, into Bling Bangling play. He's got double melee upgrades coming, and Lando just thinks, oh, you're gasless, therefore roaches, so he's gone Marauder, Tank, Banshee, Stim, Bunker at the front. Everything is anti-roach, and then Jacobus is just like, yeah, I'm going Ling Bangling.
It's still going to be annoying to actually secure this third base for Jacobus. He doesn't actually have any army units that can deal legitimate damage. He's got these queens just nice, but he doesn't actually get the cancel off on that hatchery. And the queen out front is actually at pretty low health. I'm not sure if there's one transfuse available. He does get it off, which is nice. He's going to be able to push these Hellions back at least, but he's going to start moving with some spore crawlers to help deal with the Banshees over the third base location. And still, just needs to be able to get one down. You can see his money climbing up. He's already over 1,000 minerals at a brief moment there. And it's so difficult for him to actually get that third base down, but with the Banyanist on the way, with that 1-1 completing relatively soon, I'm curious if Jacobus is going to mind too terribly much about this base not being able to get up. He's going to go for some sort of massive bust. Once again, that third does get canceled. Queen's trying to walk over there and help out, and this is only 4 Hellions, Troopers, and a Banshee. They've canceled a base twice. They got a kill on one of the bases, actually. So that's quite the worth out of it. We have a third command center about halfway finished here for Lando as well, and he's got these double engineering bays upgrading already as well. Nice amount of production ready and available here for Lando, so he's going to be pretty fine no matter what Jacobus decides to actually do behind this.
This is so annoying having this third base delayed so long. I think you probably just need a macro hatch, and yeah, we do have one slammed down in the main now as well, so Jacobus has recognized, oh, my money is so high, and he hadn't been able to build drones all this time either to saturate this third base because he doesn't have the third base. This is getting icky for Mr. Actually, not Mr. Lando. Getting icky for Jacobus. Mr. Lando is sitting pretty. He's up nearly 30 supply at the moment.
Lando maybe getting caught out in the middle of the map here with all of his Hellions and the Reapers, so those will go down. They're going to take a good handful of Blings with them, but still will lose that map presence. The Banshee is still here, that's being nice and annoying, but the Queens are here. Actually, they're off creep. Lair isn't finished either. I swear I saw a Lair coming at the natural, but that got canceled or something. Lair is just now finished, so these Queens are just going for a trip, and the Banshee's pretty happy about this. And there's only 7 energy left on the Banshee, so it will run out of cloak energy, but not before it takes down maybe another Queen. No, it is run out of cloak, but Jacobus has to see. There it goes. He's going to attack that now. It is still going to get away.
Gets away. 8
really?
kills.
Oh, heavens.
Oh. That's the thing. I mean, Jacobus does have...
Lando just killed one of his own Banshees with his Marines. It was the full health Banshee he had out in front. He just killed it.
I mean, you don't need Banshees to kill Zerg, so that's fine. It's useless supply at this stage, right? I mean,
sure.
I mean, I'd rather have 3 Marines.
His plan. That was obviously one of those, you A move and you happen to click on one of your units, and then it dies.
Yeah, Marines are so good, they kill the Banshee in one shot. Doesn't matter, right? Like that.
Pretty much. No armory just yet from Lando, so he's not going to be able to go directly into 2-2, so that's kind of sad for him. He doesn't necessarily have the money to do so either.
Double Spire!
Whoa. Yeah, that's happening right now, isn't it?
And they're right next to each other, so that's intentional.
Yeah. You definitely had to. You can't just mistakenly put down 2 spires when they're right next to each other. So is he using that for double upgrades? I mean, he's not going to get to Hive anytime soon.
Yeah,
does he have the gas? He's got 1,200, 1,300 gas baked up. He's already got these fifth and sixth gases. Yes. right? Yeah,
Yeah, he's got him.
numbers.
Yeah, and he's already got 2-2 on the way. He's already got bailing speed. So all excess gas right now goes into Hive, Infestation Pit, or double upgrades from the Spire. He's probably waiting for the second Spire to finish before he starts those double upgrades. But yeah, this is like old school Lennox stuff. Lennox used to do double Spire, and I know that Jacobus loves his old school Wings plays, so that's probably where he got it from. We should see these double upgrades come down soon.
Yeah,
But I guess he's not
22
worried
Banes in
about
production.
this.
Yeah, he's more worried about the attack out front. It's not a lot of Marines. Was posturing pretty heavily, but Jacobus had plenty of Banelings over here to take care of that. And he's got more and more Lings on the way as well. So a lot of supply, a lot of Lodge's Larva being used on that Ling Bling. But these Spires, they're still sitting here not doing anything. He hasn't even made any mutas at this point. He does have the extra macro hatch in his main, actually has a queen on it. So he's injecting that as well. He's got a fourth base down, so he's able to get a little bit more production out of that as well. So once he decides to go for perhaps some more gases on this fourth base, he's going to have even more production from those double Spires. Still, right now, there's 12 mutas on the way. He's got the no, that's the pneumatized carapace. That's the overload speed on the way. Still no upgrades coming from the double Spires. So I haven't seen anything worthwhile coming from that. And the Banshee even gets a scout off on those mutas popping out. So he knows that's going to be a factor now. And even without that, he has some turrets already pre-set up.
It's Banshee. It's the same one with 5 health from earlier that the Queens didn't kill. It's still there. I mean, his Overseer has finally got over. Rip Banshee, you have lasted until nearly the 16th minute mark. That is an 8-minute long Banshee. What?
Yeah, I don't think Lando realizes how much Ling Bling is actually out front here, because this is a way too small of an army. And he's got to pick this up, but once he picks it up, the mutas are going to pounce on this. He is trying to pick up. He's actually going to lose, maybe lose a little bit of his bile there. Actually, Jacobus running away from this. There was one mine. It got only 3 kills. It's not completely a hero mine or anything. There's still a lot left over here for Jacobus, but there's a drop in his main base that he seems to be more concerned about. He does clean that up. The Queen and Sporecrawler combo going to take care of that. The mutas are going to clean up this right side army. That's a lot of mutas going down, but he's got 13 more in production. He's just wanting to go after the Medivacs at Saint, or even just clean up his army completely with these mutas. The double Spire hasn't done anything except make... Apparently Jacobus thinks you need more Spires to make more mutas, because he's got a lot of mutas on the way right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the... Is in a Terran player who's like, I need more Spires to make more mutas. But then why doesn't he have 10 spawning pools? I don't know.
Something like that. It's a lot of Banes out here, but they are off creep, so Lando should be able to engage pretty effectively against us. He doesn't have much, really, right now. I mean, supply count, you can look at it, 180 to 150 right now in favor of Jacobus. And it's a lot of mutas that are going to fly in. I wish they had upgrades. I really wish they had upgrades, because that would just tear down some of these things so quickly. This Thor is going to get some nice shots. It doesn't have any upgrades, however. Is he just going to try to magic block this? No, he's not even going to magic block. He's just going to kind of derp around for a little bit. Loses a couple more mutas there. He's up to 9 lost so far, but main engagement happening out front of Lando's bases here. He's losing a lot, and he just doesn't have them much, and the swarm is extremely real here for our Zerg player. He's just going to fly on top of everything and probably take this third base completely down. There's a tank shelling away at this, but the tank is probably killing as many SCVs as it is killing his own Lings, so everything is dying off right now here for Lando. We have 48 more Lings in production, which aren't a lot of supply, but losing this economic position right now is Lando, which is definitely rough for him at this point. He's only lost 8 workers. Jacobus throwing away a lot of mutas. He's actually lost 16 mutas. He's throwing away more and more of those even. It's a bit of a mishap.
Yeah, he has so much gas in the bank, though. He can reproduce those mutas, but this is going really well for Jacobus. I mean, he's kind of all in on this, because he's only just now transferring over some drones to his 4th base, so that was pretty heavily all in. But that being said, I mean, he's got the supply lead, he's killed some workers from the Terran, and normally the Terran doesn't have to reproduce workers in this matchup unless the mutas go in, so that's going to be minerals away from building marines, barracks, extra depots that died, the bunkers, all that good stuff. So Jacobus, he's bought himself some breathing room, and he's using that to take the gold base. I'd like to see some more creep on this right side, to be honest, but I guess he hasn't really had the time with the whole killing the Terran thing going on. Yeah.
Killing a Terran thing is usually a good thing in a ZVT for the Zerg player, so
yeah.
Jacobus was focused on that. He's just got so much in the Bane Ling count. He does have Hive about halfway finished here, and he's still remaking mutas. If he does keep up this gas, he's going to be able to go into ultras pretty quickly. Another bit of an engagement going on, but it's a lot of Marauders here. It's a lot of bandits crashing into Marauders, but still, Jacobus just has so much. Lando has so little, and this is really difficult for Lando to deal with. Midas could try and pick off this command center that's flying around, maybe, but looks like he just wants to go for the kill outright. There's a couple of tanks around. There's one tank in the natural base, but that's really about all there is. And Jacobus is going to swing over to the third, hopefully go for these workers, but already running away is Lando, but he realizes he's not going to be able to come back from this. He does tap out. GG. Jacobus, the random player, is taking 3 straight games here as Zerg. Kind of waiting to see what happens if he actually spawns as a different race, but we're going to get into map number 2, which is going to be on Vani Research Station, so...
That was impressive.
Yeah, it was very impressive. And Vani, not a great map for a Terran, necessarily, but if Jacobus gets something that's not Zerg, maybe a little bit better for Lando's sake for the second game, but to wait and see.
But I mean, even if it's not Zerg, that's the 50.
Yeah.
That's then Terran come into play. I mean, Terran is Jacobus's main race.
Yeah. So if he does spawn as Terran, he's
know.
probably going to be comfortable. I'm not sure necessarily how much Jacobus has been playing recently. It doesn't seem like he's been playing all that much. But it doesn't seem to be affecting him. I think he said that he was playing on an alternate account to prepare for these matches, so he's definitely prepared. I assume he knew he would have to get through Lando, perhaps, to make it through. So he's probably prepared some builds specifically for Lando. But that was just macro taking over. In the double spires, he never got any mid upgrades, did he?
No, he never got an upgrade. I think he definitely should have done, and I will call that a mistake on Jacobus' part. He was fighting 1200 gas, and he never had a mute problem the whole game, and he always had a lot of banelings. His 5th or 4th never got harassed. Yep, I agree. So why not just throw in like 2.5 meters into those upgrades and make those meters so much more dangerous? Also, a couple of things from Lando. He got totally fooled by the gasless opener, assumed it was Roaches, went all defensive, and nothing really happened. And he also got some of his Thors stuck in his main. There were 2 Thors that last game that never left his main.
It's no good for him, but we are in the game 2 here on Vani Research Station, and spawning in the bottom side of the map in pink from All Inspiration, our actual Terran player. This is Mr. Lando.
Yeah, and for Echo Academy as well. It's I think it's like some kind of semi-pro team in Australia or something. They pay for him to go to LAN, so it's pretty cool. Shout out to them. And, well, he's Zerg again. And he is... and he's at the top of Vani Research Station. He is Jacobus for All Inspiration. I swear he's random. He's picked random 4 times in a row. But like we said about all-in randoms, I mean, we are a Zerg team. You're not allowed to play random in this team.
Apparently not. Lando, once again, he does have this really early scout up, but he is just going directly to the watchtower. It doesn't look like he's trying to hide this SCV, because if he were trying to hide it, he wouldn't go directly where the first overlord path would be. So he just wants to figure out what race he's playing against, and he sees Zerg, and he's got to be saying, like, seriously? Are you kidding me right now? He did actually kind of... He ran the SCV away, so Jacobus doesn't know that is on the map, so I don't know if this could be used for something a little bit later, if Lando decides to do that or not. As it stands, he is going just into the 12 racks, 12 gas. Expect a hatchery coming down here shortly from Jacobus. That drone is out at his natural to take that as well. So pretty standard openers from both players thus far. Once again, just kind of waiting to see if Jacobus is going to play the exact same style he did last game, even with the double spire, no upgrades. Wait and see for a little bit of time. I'm curious. I'm really more curious to see what Lando's going to do here in this game. His opener worked pretty well, and it delayed that third base for such a long time. He didn't capitalize on it. I think if he does the same sort of push, but continues making Hellions, continues making these units, and just pushes with that instead of just waiting and assuming he's ahead, he's in a much better position. We actually see a bunker coming down here from Lando. This is something interesting, finally, yes.
It's not something interesting, but I mean...
The SCV is not in vision either, jeez.
No, this bunker spot is so obnoxious. I've had this happen to me once. After this, I mean, Zerg players take note. This is something that should only happen once, really. Or it should only fool you once, rather. And I don't think Jacobus knows this is a thing. I mean, he is sending this Overlord over there now, and now he sees it, but the bunker's done. Stop.
Yeah, the bunker is done. I mean, luckily, Jacobus is a Zerg player, so he can't just keep pushing bunkers forward. He's not playing against he's not a Protoss. He's not going to have to deal with that necessarily. Already a Spine Caller down. The Reaper is just now completed over here for Lando. So this bunker, I don't know. It could still get some damage done, but it really isn't going to get too much done other than being an annoyance. It does force a Spine Crawler, which I guess is nice. It's going to be at the most annoying. I don't think it's going to do too much damage. So it's going to force a reaction out of Jacobus. And could be curious if Lando just continues making Reapers. He does have a third one queued up. If he's going to throw down, he has to throw down a command center. So it looks like that's going to be the case here in just a moment. Reaper is here. It is starting to shell away at this at the Spine Caller. Spine Caller is at half health here. Ling's paying attention. Actually going to go punch the SCVS trying to repair. But nice mecha here out of Lando. Keeping as much alive as possible. He will lose the bunker without salvaging it. There he goes. Barely gets it killed. Spine Caller will get that killed off. The Reapers are still in production, however. Lando did not cancel that third Reaper, so he still has not gotten to a factory. He just now threw down. Oh no, he didn't. He actually has that much money.
Dude.
He just has that much money that he could throw down another command center.
We've got a layer. 100 gas into layer. That is a 5-minute layer.
Oh good God, what is that gonna be?
I don't know. And Lando, he hasn't scouted this. He's seen a second gas being taken, but he hasn't yet seen the layer. Got to get in there soon, though, right? I mean, he's jumping in, he's jumping in, he's jumping in. He sees these lings and one queen in the spine, but layer, dude, this layer, this is going to be 2 ways meteorite. Got to be. I mean, he's getting ling speed.
Yeah, if he wasn't getting speed, it might be something else. But with speed, I guess it's got to be mutas. But how many mutas are you going to make off of one base of gas?
Like, he's going to have this 2 muta rush is going to be great.
Yeah. So, is it going to be bangs? Is it going for like speed bang or something? I don't really know.
He doesn't have the gas for it.
Doesn't have the gas for anything. So,
what's the layer for? Is he just so afraid of like the And he scans either layer, like. Dude, Lando, when you figure it out, let us know, because
there he is.
It's a spire. Why? Oh my God, that's so fast. You can't. This is effectively one base because he only has 22 drones.
And behind us, Lando has 3 command centers. He's got an engineering bay on the way. He's producing Widow Mines. He's producing Marines. He's not even bothering with Hellions right now, realizing he's going to be facing probably a really fast spire. Because what else could it possibly be? So he's preparing for that very well, and with this third command center already finished here, and Lando is already has a worker lead. He already has a worker lead without a third command center finished. So this is if Jacobus doesn't find a way to make this work very well, he's gonna be in a really bad position.
I don't know. I think that there is such a thing as mutas that are too fast, right? I mean, he doesn't have the economy to build anything. Normally with a 2-base muta build, you slam out like 6 to 10 mutas and then the +1 upgrade as soon as the spire finishes. Nice little split there by Jacobus on that mine. But he's only going to be able to build 4 mutas as this spire finishes. Like, Lando has this unit and it's called the Marine, and that can kill 4 mutas. I don't know.
So, okay, here it's the long con. He's actually going to get muta upgrades this game. He's not going to go for mutas initially. He's just going to get them really heavily upgraded and drone up behind all of it. Just make Lando freak out and think he's playing against something that he's not, I guess. It's totally what's happening right now. And the third hatchery is coming up. We do have double Evo chambers coming up as well. So this Spire is sitting here doing nothing right now. The drone saturation isn't actually a thing just yet for Jacobus. He still needs quite a few workers to saturate 2 bases even. It looks like his build is just, 3 minutes behind, but 3 minutes ahead with this Spire.
Yeah, like this. I guess he's just a sign of respect to the Reaper Hellion Banshee harass that Lando did last game, because he was laying the smackdown with that those 5 guys that denied the third over and over and over and over again, and then Jacobus is like, well, I can make a Mutalisk and that's not going to happen again. This is the minder up there. It's going to be obnoxious.
Mines actually aren't doing anything. There is an Overseer here as well. He's going to try to burrow right next to the Queen and get that killed off. But the mines are just out of range. Actually, there it goes. Whoops. Bit of a mistake there by Jacobus. He's actually going to let all these Marines come in and fly in and drop. They don't have stim just yet, so it's going to take a while to actually kill things, but he needs to drop the other 4 of them, because there's still 4 sitting in the medevac. There's a mine trying to walk up the ramp, but the Spinecrawler is still here from earlier. We'll kill that off. There goes. He is finally dropping those 4 Marines. He's killed off 2 Queens, which is nice. Killed off a few of the Lings as well. He sees the Spire now, so he's got to be thinking, okay, there's Mutas on the map, right? Somewhere, but not the case. He's just going to start killing every single drone that Jacobus has over here, because 12 Lings on the way. That's not going to kill this.
I don't know. I mean, this game is like night and day from the previous one. 8 Marines has just killed the entire natural. Well, basically, I mean, there's no mining here. There's like 3 drones. Even these Lings aren't going to be enough, to be honest. Lando, you could have stayed and fought that for a little bit and probably traded most of it out, but I guess it's nice to get away with your casual 19 drone for 3 Marine, 2 mine trade. And you got the 2 Queens as well, right? And 4 Overlords?
Yeah. Really, really rough open to this game. We can say open, and we're 12 minutes in. We've got a 20-some-odd worker lead here for Mr. Lando, which is the Terran player, so that's something that usually is not the case. And in Lando, he's on the map with just barely any units at all, but he's nice and safe regardless. There's no bandings right now. There's just a smattering of speedlings. That's really all there is. Marauder here going to try to do some work, but Hellion does kind of give the advance warning here for Jacob or for Lando, so he can kind of pull back and get in a better position to deal with this, I suppose. But those Lings were just to send out to scout and see what's going on, what he's actually up against right now. Jacobus says he's trying to make up this worker deficit, but he's still down by 12, and he's trying to make an army at the same time. He's got no banelings still. He's about to have banelings be finished, but yeah, this is gonna go pretty badly for our Zerg player. Lando still doesn't have stem. It's about to finish up, but it's still not quite finished. So I guess that's a nice little breather there for Jacobus. But stem finished, 1-1 finished. A lot of units here for Lando already.
Even this one Hellbat's going to be annoying. That mine was a little bit overly aggressively placed there, but yeah, that completely whiffed actually. But pretty nice splits there, and is he gonna get that queen? Oh my god, that queen has 1 health. You got to go back for that. Come on, come on, come on. Go on, he wants it, but the medevac's also got 3 health, so
Yeah.
this is getting a little bit crazy. But I mean, once again, like last game, we also have to remember the early mid game was completely in Lando's favor.
True.
And then Jacobus was just like, you know what? I'm actually pretty comfortable in the mid game. I can make stuff and I can put it towards the direction of the other guy, and I can kill the other guy. So Lando, I don't think he can wait too long.
Yeah, similar thing. I think random players, they're more accustomed to situations where they're ad-libbing. They're ad-libbing in the entire game. I think it's kind of been the case in this game for Jacobus. He's just kind of making it up as he goes, and he's finding a way to make units and get units out to defend that he needs. And he's about to run all of his Lings into the bio here, and without any bandings to help his side, he's just going to throw all those away. You have quite a few mutas are finally in production and finally have hatched out. I think a mine is actually moved now. And it's still alive. It's actually underneath the Queens here. It's got 8 kills on it now. It's a lot of bio here for Lando. They're going to have 2-2 here momentarily. 26 Lings about to pop, and hopefully most of those are able to turn into bandings. Jacobus has a lot of gas. There you go. Bandings being produced, but the Bioforce is already here. Nothing but really the mutas to defend right now. Mine goes off and kills a Queen. The mine's been there for such a long time. This third base is under fire. Not that it ever actually got saturated or actually used. It will go down. Bandings have finished here. Jacobus does have banding speed. His own 2-2 it's probably not going to finish. It's going to be under fire, but Jacobus is probably going to roll in with the Banes that he does have here. See if he can get down the ramp and push this away, but he's lost his third base. 16 minutes in. He's attacking with everything right now. Bandits are rolling in. 0 splitting, 0 attention paid to this by Lando. And actually loses absolutely everything.
Yeah, Lando did have a 80 supply lead, and now it's only a 70 supply lead. But, I mean, it's something, right? Jacobus isn't dead. I think everyone expected that would be GG, but nope. I mean, Lando is going up to... That is a 5th command center, I believe. Yeah. So that is 5 base versus 2.5, 3... Well, that's not even a 3rd base, is it? That's just... Yeah, that's 5 base versus 2 base, basically, soon. This is getting really rough for Jacobus. He needs, like, to research Burrow and get, like, 5 nuclear-sized Baneling mines in a row, I think.
Yeah, definitely needs something. He
Yeah.
needs something. And that first engagement that he took was really nice, and it definitely put him in a much better position than he was in. But he needs to keep doing that for the next 15 minutes of this game to be on even footing. He's down 23 workers right now still, and his third base isn't up. His economy is just pretty much in shambles. He's got a lot of money saved up, but there's no larva really to speak of. He's using every bit of larva he gets on Lings right now, which is not going to be a useful, really. The army is moving here for Lando. He's going to actually burrow these mines this time, split a little bit. A few Widowmine shots go off, not too much actually done there. I want to just go ahead and say that it's got to be the latency from Australia to here that's really hurting Lando. But Jacobs, he's going to tap out there. No splits to speak of from our Terran player, but no big deal when you have a 100 supply lead.
What happened to the Jacobus in game one?
Right,
Like five
completely
Marines,
flustered.
like 8 Marines walk into a hatchery and kill 20 drones. That's the joke. I don't know. Like, what happened? Dude.
Lando telling Jacobus in party chat that he just needs to pick Zerg and get it over with.
Yeah,
Stop pretending.
I mean that would be what are the odds of that? Like small.
Jacobus, can I not get Zerg? Please.
Yeah, so that does confirm that Zerg is, in his opinion, his worst race, and this has been 4 times in a row. Yeah, 4 times in a row.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive stats. I'm sure it's not that impressive in the grand scheme of things, but regardless. Our last map is going to be Inferno Pool, so that's an intriguing map to actually end on in a TV
this
random.
one get through, yeah. That being said, I let Secret Spring go through for my veto, so I mean, people have crazy ideas sometimes.
I kind of like Inferno Pools just because I'm insane, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think it I don't know, it lends well to my playstyle, so it works out decently for me most games. I think. I don't know. I don't think I've played enough to actually have a real opinion on the map, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Jacobus is going to spawn Zerg, so I mean, we can speak from a ZVT point of view, just because we know he's going to be Zerg.
I have a Zerg tooltip or a tip. It's a Zerg tip, so
Perfect. All right, that's. See, I'm just saying. Look, guys, look. See this? Look at this. Do you see these things here? This is the pink Zerg in the bottom right of Inferno Pools. He's probably just smashed his keyboard, so we might need to pause and go get another keyboard. But it's Jacobus for all inspiration. I'm just saying, randoms in our clan. There's a thing. This is now 5 in a row. So as we were saying,
it's insane.
As I was trying to say, rather, he got lucky and didn't spawn close, but even in these positions, you kind of have to take the third as your gold and the opposite natural as your fourth, and things get real hairy. I mean, and we have the Blue Terran, Mr. Lando, for all inspiration, in the upper right of Inferno Pools as well. 5 in a row!
I feel like, I don't know, like, as I was saying, like, earlier against Nefarious, he had those Zerg builds mapped out. It's what he wanted to do. I feel like Jacobus, he has a Zerg versus Terran build mapped out. You don't expect to get ZVT 3 times in a row, so you're not going to think that you need to have that many builds. So he probably has 1, maybe 2 builds actually prepared. I assume we saw the second build last game. So I guess in this game he's just going to have to try to play macro beyond and figure out something to do and just hope that he can win out in that regard, rather than seeing some sort of really crisp, really well-timed all-in off of just 2 bases or something like that. If he goes for some sort of bust, I mean, this is a really wide-open natural ramp. It does lend itself pretty well to doing some early busts if you wanted to do that. But again, you have to prepare that kind of build. You can't just wing it all in if it's not something you've done a decent amount. Indeed, it's pretty impressive, I must say.
5 times.
5 times in a row, he's hit Zerg as a random player.
I think that's 1 in 243 chance.
He doesn't know how to count.
No. How high is he right now? Lando says it's 6 times. I mean, Lando's already predicting that he's going to win this map, and then the next map, the rematch, Jacobus versus Nefarious, will be another ZVZ to start it off. So, I'll have to wait and see how well Lando's prediction does there, but oh my god. I mean, this time, Jacobus has actually taken a pretty fast gas, and he's actually... This might be a ZVZ build. I'm just throwing this out there. He went hatch gas pool. Ah, he's pulled out at 100, okay. But he's definitely going to get super fast speed. He's definitely forgotten an Overlord. So that's going to annoy him. There we go, he's remembered now. But he's only going to build one Queen now. You can do like a double extractor trick with an Evo chamber or something to get that second Queen out.
I've definitely done that plenty of times. So,
yeah, me too. Yeah,
in fact, I did that Thursday evening. So,
see that one next Tuesday then.
yeah. That was definitely something that happens. Lando behind this, he's going for his just normal setup. He's not going for extra Reapers or anything like that. He doesn't have a bunker out front. He does have one Reaper already in the base here of Jacobus. This Reaper's going to be able to get out no problem. He does see the speed on the way. Actually, he may not have seen the speed on the way. No, he didn't actually even see the pool. He did see the gas. He did see that the drone got pulled to gas. And I think you're right. I think this is just a CVZ build. He's about to throw down he was about to throw down a Bailey Nest. I guess he's waiting to push away these Reapers before he does that. Because the drone did walk out and to sit behind the mineral line. There it is. There's the Bailey Nest. So, yeah, a bust is definitely going to be a thing. He's going to have to push these Reapers away and keep this hidden as long as he possibly can. Surely Lando will be able to scan, and he's going to have Hellions out as well to deal with this, even beyond that. Speed's going to be kicking on pretty soon, so the Reaper's going to have to get away. That's a lot of Lings, though, so that should tip off Lando a little bit already.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you want to... Oh my god, they're just all dying before Speed even kicks in. They're just all getting picked off, and they go home. Jacobus, you're drunk. They're going the wrong way. But did Jacobus know what... He must know where he's from. Yeah, he does. So they're just running away until Speed finishes, but there's not even enough Lings to kill these Reapers anymore. Oh, no. I think he knows what's up as well. I mean, he's not... taking the third CC, he has made 2 more racks behind this. He knows that there's a thing, and it involves a lot of Zerglings. I think he's figured out that much. I don't think he's figured it out that there's a Baneling bust coming, because there's not like the giant Great Wall of China at the top of the ramp. But he will have a few Hellions, and he has kept all 3 Reapers alive. The unit's lost tab will be like, what, 1 SCV? No, the SCV got out as well, so... That's like a lot of Lings. Yeah, 1 drone, 7 Lings for 3 Reapers. That's a pretty nice trade, but... I don't think he's realised that there's Banelings coming. That's a lot of Banelings.
He does have 2 Hellions out, which is going to be helpful against this, but he's not going to have any sort of a wall set up. You see he's trying to make a wall right now. He's about to see all these Banes, but Hellions should be able to micro against this decently well for Lando, but a couple of SCVs out here actually could get sniped off. Not enough Lings. I mean, all those Lings dying off early is definitely hurting Jacobus right now. He can't get on top of these Hellions. He's going to kill 2 of them on the near the ramp there, so that's nice. But still, so few Lings actually out right now. He's got 18 in production right now. He's got a few more walking across the map, but most of his Lings have already died off. There's still a Hellion and a Reaper out right now. One Baneling can't kill an SCV with a Baneling. Can't forget that. But a couple more Lings should be able to clean up what few units that Lando has left out here. The natural, it's going to contain the Terran player for a little bit longer period of time right now. Right now Lando is stuck in his main base, but I can't imagine he feels too bad about that yet. Until Jacobus starts droning up, this isn't a problem.
I mean, Lando plays on Korea, so this stuff is like natural to him, right? All the Koreans play crazy aggro, so pretty sure he's played this through several times. I wonder if Jacobus fully aware that he has. I mean, he's still making Lings and Banelings, just now adding a couple more drones, but this secondary bust, it's... Oh my god, Lando left the door open. Lando, why? Oh, that's why. Okay, you can just kill everything. Okay, I guess he knows better than us. Cool.
Yeah, it wasn't quite enough there for Jacobus. All the Lings getting in front. There's enough Marines to deal with that, but that could have gone a lot worse. A lot of the Banelings actually got used on the depot rather than anything useful like the massive army that still exists here for Lando. So we do have the drones actually have been started by Jacobus. He's going to try to drone out of this situation, but he just now took a 3-worker lead. That little bit of the depot that he killed did supply cap his opponent for a little bit of time. And Lando, he's got to be a little bit afraid. He does have Stim finished. He's finishing up here in a second. He's got a starport on the way, but he's pretty far behind where he wants it to be at. He doesn't have that 3rd command center up. He's actually getting an armory already, so I assume he wants to have Hellbats available to tank, since he's not going to be getting Marauders anytime soon, I suppose. There's a lot of Marines going to be coming out with Stim, so we can actually split against that and hopefully use Hellbats to tank, I suppose. We do have a lair on the way already for Jacobus. He is getting his natural completely saturated, so once again looking to go for that Ling Bling Mutas setup. Just a little bit later after this initial bust attempt.
Yeah, that in the end, now that we can just look at what happened, I mean, the worker supply is relatively even, but Lando's going to be taking the lead there because of the mules whenever they do get the energy, and then Lando, he's been forced to make a lot of units, right, just to defend the bust, and because he microed against the Lings and Banelings so well, he can now start to pressure with these units, and Jacobus really wants to be getting a third base and getting drones there, and he can't really do that right now. He's forced to make Banelings, and he'd much rather save this gas for whatever he wants his layer tech for. Like, right now he doesn't have the money to do anything at layer tech. Unless he wants, like, an infestation pit, or a hydro den. It'd be really weird.
I think that the most he's going to get is this banding speed. He's getting that on the way, which is definitely going to help him out against what he's going to be facing here. His creep spread, I mean, considering how he started, his creep is pretty decent already. He's got that pushed out a little bit all the way out there, but the third hatchery that's coming up at the skull base attempted, it's not going to survive. He sees the units come over and he realizes immediately that's not going to happen. I think he may have... Well, Lando saw the explosion of goo, so he knows that was over there. But not really much is available right now for Jacobus up here. There's a good amount of bands, but without speed, it's going to be so difficult for him to actually attack into. There's 7, 8 Hellbats here, and a lot of Marines with the medevac support now, and Stim going down. He's going to pick up the upgrades if he can. A couple bands go off on those forward Hellbats. They don't really do much of anything. Now there's pretty much no units left over right now for Jacobus. He's got 20 Lings producing. He's got 7 Banes morphing somewhere on the map. There they are. He's got a couple of Queens. He's trying to pull the drones, but the drones aren't going to kind of get away. He loses 6 of them, but still. He has to hope for Lando to push up the ramped up, and then maybe he can get something done. Well, okay, well, he's going to trade decently well against it, but still the Hellbats pretty much all remain. All of the army pretty much remains here for Lando. And he's just going to stim forward, take out the Queens, take out everything else that's remained. 21 workers have been killed off. No third base. Behind us we have a third command center even for Lando, so looking like Lando is going to be able to secure this game number 3 here in this series. Nice. Push himself into the round of 8, into the quarterfinals of the Chobo Star League.
And I get to
see number 1, but... How about Argosu? Indeed, they are pretty powerful there. But GG to Lando, Jacobus. Well, he's going to have a rematch versus Nefarious, and will he get something that's not Zerg?
Of course not. No, it'll be 3 Zergs in a row. Or 2 Zergs in a row. It's not going to be Terran or Protoss. I mean, the writing's on the wall right now. Jacobus has to switch to Zerg.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the case. But for the time being, we are going to get Nefarious back in here, get our map vetoes figured out. We're going to get